You can find the average rate of change from a table by simply finding the change for the y and putting it over your change of your x. So there's a couple things that we need to know moving into it. First is when you're asked to find the average rate of change, it's going to give you an interval. An interval is simply your x values. So from 3 to 11 is on this table, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And then your y values is your f of x. So we're just going to put a little y next to our f of x, just so they know it's the same thing. And there's another formula we can use for this, and you want to use this as long as it doesn't mess you up. If this is having trouble, there's a different way to look at it. But it's your y2 value minus your y1 over your x2 value minus your x1 value. So this is basically just finding the difference between each interval. Alright, so I've got interval 3, 11. And so like I said, we can find the change in x here, and that's your x2 value minus your x1. And so my x2 value in this case would be 11, and we're going to subtract 3. And then my y2 value minus my y1, and my y2 value is 23 minus 5. And so this is going to give us 18 over 11 minus 3 is 8, and that simplifies to 9 over 4. So the second way that we can look at this is we can simply take our initial value and we can just count how it changed. Instead of putting it into a formula, I can say, okay, from 3 to 11 it went up 8. From 5 to 23 it went up 18. Okay, so the more correct way to do it and without making a mistake is to throw it into a formula. But again, if you have trouble with these subscripts over here, you can just kind of count. And the main thing is we can see that it went up. Okay, so that's the main thing that you're going to want to make sure that you check on before you do this. All right, so what's the change from 5 to 11? Well, from 5 to 11, it went up 6. And then from 5 to 11, it went up 6. And then on the y, from 7 to 23, it went up 16. So that's 8 over 3. And then from 7 to 11, I threw some of the same numbers on here just to make it more confusing. From 7 to 11, it went up 4 on the x. And it went up from 11 to 23 on the y, that's 12. And 12 over 4 is 3. Okay, let's go to the next one. From 9 to 11, it's right here. It went up 2. Change of 2 on the x. And went up 6 on the y. That's also 3. Alright, from 5 to 7 on the x, it went up 2. And it went up 4 on the y. 4 over 2 is 2. My average rate of change is 2. And 3 to 9 is right here. And that takes us from 5 to 17. So, if you want to make this nice and fast, you can just do your x value first. From 3 to 9, it went up 6. And moving up along the x will always be a positive value, so you never have to worry about a negative here. You might have to worry about a negative on the top, so if it goes down. But in this case, none of these go down. From 3 to 9, it went from 5 to 17. That's 12. 12 over 6 is 2. And that's how you find the average rate of change from a table.